I said to my publisher, well, I've written my last book. And he said, I don't see why you say that. And I said, well, I've got nothing left to write about. He said, well, I would quite like to hear what you think about old age. And I said, are you mad? Well, one or two of my relations, bless their hearts, I mean, they're much too nice to be horrid about it, but they do have reservations about writing. They wish that I hadn't written this kind of book, because they think it's very conceited, you see. They think that I'm thinking I'm important. And I suppose that anyone writing in the first person is thinking that to a certain extent, but I think that what is important is what one has experienced. And that if you're going to write about what you've experienced, you've got to try and write about how it really was. So you end up by writing rather indiscreetly. No one can generalize about old age. It's purely a matter of health. And if you don't have your health, it's bloody awful. And if you do, it's just like you go on living and being like yourself, which is what has happened to me. But it sort of encourages people, I think, to read someone to whom that has happened and who's gone on into their 90s still feeling quite enjoying quite a lot of life. I always remember hearing my mother saying to a friend of hers, they were talking about a dance, and she said, no, I didn't have to go to it, thank God. And I, aged, I suppose, about 15 or 16, I remember thinking, if ever I get old enough not to want to dance, I shall kill myself. And of course, one doesn't. One just doesn't want to dance, and so one doesn't mind not dancing. Same thing with sex. I am, I suppose, an atheist, anyhow agnostic. It hasn't made me frightened about dying, which people think it ought to do, but it hasn't, because it has never seemed to me frightening to go to sleep. And that is how I imagine it to be. One just goes to sleep forever, and that's that. Whatever the facts may be, which no human being knows, why the world started, how it started, what keeps it going, what life is, none of us know. But it is. There it is. It always has been, it always will be, so why not accept it? All lives contribute something. I mean, we all represent life, and better to do something good than something bad. Better to be positive than not. It's extraordinary how many people don't remember being young themselves, but I've got quite a good memory about being young, and I can quite well remember how I thought of old people. And they jolly well started being old in their 40s, and, you know, one didn't really want to have much to do with them. And so if any young person has anything to do with me, I'm very grateful.